What's up guys, we're back at it again at Starlight Drive-In, building with mods. In this episode we're going to be working on the first shop, which is going to be a clothes shop. But before I started on that, I mapped out where I wanted all of my buildings so I can get a rough idea of what it's going to look like when I'm finished. Once I finished mapping out the area, I grabbed one of these floors and roofs. The reason why I picked this one is simply because it has the flat edge on one side where I'm going to have the shop sign. Once I was happy with the position, I went ahead and grabbed my clothing stands. I'm using two mods for these. One is Better Vendors Stores and the other one is Immersive Vendors. Both mods add a cool selection of stands with a lot of clutter on them, and with and without the signs on the top, so you can actually place them indoors. Once I was happy with its position, I started walling off the rest of the building, using a half wall to make a little display area that I placed a mannequin in. I should really look up if there's a mod, which is probably will be, for dressing up mannequins, because that would work perfectly here. Next, I lit up the building and took away a little bit of clutter from the ground. And remember, if you're curious about any of these mods, I put all the links to them in the description below so you can check them out yourself. As the building is sunk into the ground, I couldn't just simply snap the door into place, so I untoggled snapping and slowly moved it into place until I was happy the way it looked. I walled off the back and the bottom of the stand before adding a few signs. While I was going through the signs, I came across this really cool Nuka-Cola sign that I just had to put in front of my diner. I came across this pretty cool Rose's Vintage Shop sign that I just had to put on the front of my shop. So I'm sorry, Commonwealth Outlet, there's no room at the inn. Then I went a bit crazy with placing signs all over the settlement before heading back and placing a clothing rack and a large locker inside the shop. I added some suitcases and bags and other containers to really bring the shop to life. And of course a stool for them long, hard post-apocalyptic workdays. I added a light to light up the sign and a little American flag, which is actually nowhere near little, it's pretty big, and I took a step back to admire my work, and I was pretty happy with the way it was looking. I added a little random walkway in the back to remind me in the future to carry on and extend this around and have a little seating area in the middle, so this might look a little bit random for now, but in the future hopefully it will come together and look pretty cool. Even though it was looking pretty cool, it was still a little small, as this was going to be the only clothes store in this whole settlement. So I ended up extending it and adding another store next to it. The ground in the shop was a little bit too uneven for my liking, so I ended up adding a metal ridged floor. There was a reason behind that flat roof. I wanted to add another roof slightly in front of it, so it had a little bit of covering in front of the shop. Moving on, I added a chain link fence on the side and I blocked off either side of the store. Then I placed the door, some containers and the back wall. I placed this sign on top simply to hide that horrible kind of join drop down bit on the roof. Adding two green lights to light it up, and then I took a step back and had a look at my shop. It was looking pretty cool, but I still wasn't 100% satisfied with the way it was looking. So I added these metal ridged smaller floors around the front of the shop and slightly around the side before fencing it off. I went through a few different styles of fencing before ending up going back to the good old chain link fence. Now it was really starting to come together, but I weren't quite happy with the lip on the floor. So I sunk some stairs in front of it to take your attention away from the hard line. I added a shelf and clutter to really sell the look of the shop. To finish off, I fenced off the sides of the store, added a shopping cart and of course a traffic cone to really pull it all together. Then I came across this really cool clock that I just had to use as the centerpiece for this small little area. And that's it, shop number 1 is done and finished. In the next episode, we're gonna move on and make a kind of gift shop slash general trade shop right next to this one. And if you liked the video, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed already, then subscribe. If you have any cool ideas, place them down in the comic book section. No, in the comment section below. And what's your favorite settlement? Mine is Red Rocket.
The 5th grader showed us how to do it. Red Rocket, come on, dog, Red Rocket.
But I do kind of like this one as well, because there's a lot of big open space while still have pre-existing buildings. So that just about wraps up this episode. So thanks a lot for watching, and goodbye.